in complete contrast to a long-running case that's as bizarre as it is controversial, the tale of a shark in a roof in Oxford.
This is no longer just a house, it's a piece of sculpture.
That's an abomination, that is.
British planning laws are notoriously strict, but this doesn't stop some visionaries taking on the system. In Oxford, one man's eccentric rooftop feature remains controversial 30 years after it first appeared.
We have millions and millions of visitors come every year to this city. We've got one of the great universities of this world. Thatcher, Blair are educated here. The whole basis of government throughout the democratic world is built around the works of Hobbes and Locke. Both are educated in this university. It's the centre of the universe. But you've always had in this city headline-grabbing fringe minorities. They're always up to something or other.
Meet Bill Heiner, proud owner of Oxford's Shark House. Since this sculpture was erected in 1986, it has attracted thousands of visitors from around the world. His unlikely inspiration was a squadron of American Air Force jets en route to Libya. No, really.
When I went to bed 15th of April 1986, I heard planes flying over Oxford. And then in the morning, the news broadcast had the headlines that the Americans had bombed Tripoli. And I thought, how terrible this is.
Bill's confusingly fish-based anti-war protest has taken on a life of its own.
This is no longer just a house, and it's not just a shark. It's a piece of sculpture. I didn't realize the consequences of this.
It all began back in 1986, when with the help of two 20-ton cranes, Bill's dream, having a 25-foot, 200-kilogram fiberglass shark inserted into his home, came to fruition.
Yes! We did it! It's really there, it's real. Let the battle begin.
John Power was part of Oxford Council's planning committee in 1986.
Oxford's known as a city the dream inspires, and that certainly isn't one of the dream inspires. That's an ugly eyesore, and it was not given permission by the planning authority of this city.
And it wasn't long before the battle over whether the shark needed planning approval caught the attention of the media.
Now then, city planners in Oxford are poised to set their nets round what's turned out to be a rather fishy saga.
One question only comes to the lips. Why?
It's come across the Great Barrier Reef of the Oxford City Council now, but I think it's swimming over their heads.
If we didn't put some kind of check on this, we'd have had all kinds of things going on roofs all over this city.
In a bid to stop the rooftops of Oxford becoming a magnet for schools of dismembered fish, Oxford Council insisted the shark had to go, but Bill fought them all the way.
It was a very complicated battle. It went from the council to the courts. I only won one time, and that was a time that mattered.
5 years after the shark's arrival, the matter was eventually passed all the way up to the then Home Secretary, Michael Heseltine.
Michael Heseltine gave the statement, "I cannot believe the purpose of the planning laws is to enforce boring, mediocre design." And he let the shark live.
It wasn't this left-leaning liberal city that gave him permission. It was right-wing backwoodsman Tories who gave him this permission.
So, thanks to an American artist, a 25-foot synthetic shark, and Michael Heseltine, the skyline of Oxford was changed forever.
It's not my shark, but I know this is going to sound corny, but it's the people's shark.
Can you imagine having a house that was just a sightseeing object you're trying to live in? You know, imagine living in a house with that lot of rubbish stuck on your roof.